Well, hey guys, I imagine you are somewhat surprised by the title and thumbnail of today's video, but I'm going to be reviewing for you guys, per your request, the new Cerave Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum. If you're at all new here, I do not use vitamin C serums, and I have a video describing why that is, so I'll link it down below for those of you who are new. But I am a huge fan of Cerave products, and I always recommend their moisturizing cream in the tub. Some of my most viewed videos are of me reviewing Cerave products, so I know you guys are fans and you've been asking about it. Those of you who like the purple renewing line in particular, I think have a great interest in this. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of revisit vitamin C serums, what we know about why they might be helpful for skin and what their limitations are, and kind of remind you and clue in maybe newer viewers as to why I don't use them. Vitamin C is the most abundant antioxidant in our skin, but unlike plants and some other animals, humans don't have the ability to make their own vitamin C. We lack the enzyme L-glucono-gamma-lactone oxidase that is needed to make vitamin C. And when we go out in the sun, or sun that comes through the window, ultraviolet radiation and other environmental stressors actually deplete our skin's vitamin C levels. There's a lot of interest in topical vitamin C for skin health, for anti-aging, for improvement of wrinkles and fine lines, and also from the perspective of potentially preventing some of the damaging effects that occur and subsequently set the stage for skin cancers. We have several laboratory studies and some small studies in humans suggesting many benefits from topical application of vitamin C. It can, as an antioxidant, it can reduce the damage from stressors like smoking, UV from the sun, and also pollution. Topical vitamin C also can, in terms of an anti-aging outcome, can theoretically boost collagen production. Not only can it boost collagen production, ultimately improving the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines, but it can also inhibit an enzyme called matrix metalloproteinases that gets activated when your skin is exposed to ultraviolet radiation. That enzyme, matrix metalloproteinase, or those enzymes, they degrade collagen in our skin. So vitamin C can actually put the brakes on that, potentially. It can neutralize free radicals, and it also has an anti-pigmentary effect, meaning it's something that is exciting and as a potential treatment for hyperpigmentation. So it's a really compelling ingredient and an area of dermatology research that is exciting. However, the devil is in the details with the formulation of the vitamin C. Vitamin C, or L-ascorbic acid, is an ingredient that is water soluble, meaning it dissolves in water, and because it is water soluble or hydrophilic, that makes it really, really challenging to get it to penetrate the waxy lipid skin barrier. Remember, our skin is a barrier, it's designed to keep things out. So that's one of the reasons why I'm never excited about using vitamin C, is how does it even get in? There are a lot of strategies and tricks that manufacturers have employed and things they have looked into that seem to enhance penetration. For example, the pH is critical. pH of less than 3.5 is needed to allow for the vitamin C to get into the skin. Also, the concentration is really important. So reputable vitamin C products will generally have 10, 15, 20% L-ascorbic acid. L-ascorbic acid is a form of vitamin C that is the most bioactive, but again, is water soluble, so difficult to get into that waxy layer. Also, another thing about vitamin C is that it's got a charge on it. Charged particles are things that our skin doesn't allow to penetrate into the skin. So that is another component of vitamin C that makes it very hard to get into the skin. And also, vitamin C, or L-ascorbic acid, is not stable. It oxidizes very readily. One of the negative effects of using a topical vitamin C product is that it will oxidize, and in doing so, it can become a little more irritating, and it can and will discolor your skin orange. So that's a negative outcome. That's probably the most adverse effect of using a topical L-ascorbic acid. I would say the adverse effects of using vitamin C serum are cost, irritation, because it can cause stinging and burning, and also the discoloration, which is not permanent to your skin. So, you know, it's a pretty harmless ingredient, but it's something that I've tried before and never really appreciated any substantial benefit. And given what I know about how cosmeceuticals are non-drug cosmetics that aren't regulated, I don't have a lot of confidence in different vitamin C serums. I just never, you know, I just don't have the evidence, the data to make me feel confident about them, and so it's not something I pursue. And a lot of people use them, you know, I'm not saying it's wrong to, and if anything, you know, maybe it can help. So I tried out the Cerave Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum. And a note about it, this uses 10% L-ascorbic acid, so a good concentration. It uses L-ascorbic acid, which is the most bioactive form. This product uses something called multilamellar vesicular technology, or MVE, I think is what it's called. And that actually has been shown for vitamin C, for L-ascorbic acid, as a novel way to get vitamin C into the skin in a better way. Basically what it does is it kind of shields some of that charge by coating the L-ascorbic acid. So it allows it to penetrate the waxy skin lipid barrier, and kind of then in doing so, you get kind of a gradual and sustained release of the L-ascorbic acid into the skin, as opposed to just depositing it on the surface of the skin and having it oxidize there. So it's a more rational delivery system. Ferulic acid and vitamin E. These two ingredients have been shown to stabilize the vitamin C, allow it to get into the skin better, and also, in the case of ferulic acid, facilitate the appropriate pH. So there's no ferulic acid, you know, you lose that in the skin renewing vitamin C serum. But otherwise, you know, so you kind of have to put your confidence in the MVE technology, that's keeping it stable enough. But again, because it's a cosmetic, a non-drug, who knows, you know, who knows? There are no studies that will tell you that. All right, but the inactive ingredients in this, it's a great moisturizing vehicle, we'll say that. It has hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant that can help hold water in the skin. It has ceramides, which are ingredients when applied topically to the skin, can help your skin barrier restore itself. The ingredient in the serum that will give you pause most likely is the presence of alcohol denaturant, which can be drying, irritating, and sting a little bit, but it's not a bad ingredient. It's added to things like sunscreens, to protect the active ingredients, and in this case probably added for stability of the vitamin C. So it's not something to you know, rule out automatically. And this product is actually very moisturizing. It does sting a little bit when you put it on the cheeks for me, which is the case with all vitamin C serums, that you know, they can sting a little bit and be a little, just cause a little bit of tingling. And for me, that happens mostly on the cheeks. But, you know, here's the package, and I've been using this, I should say, I'm not currently using it. I used this for 4 months. And then I stopped. I didn't notice any appreciable difference in my skin as far as hyperpigmentation or suppleness, texture. But it was moisturizing and pretty easy to hack, so I didn't mind chugging along with it for 4 months. I stopped about 6 weeks ago, so I've not been using this for 6 weeks. So I've had a bit of a washout period, and I see no difference in my skin. So I don't really think it did anything, but it wasn't harmful or irritating to me. You know, going back to the devil is in the details, the packaging of the vitamin C serum is important. It needs to be protected from light and air. So I really like the packaging that they used. This is kind of more like what you would expect, you know, what you get with prescription medications, this kind of tube. A note about the packaging though, don't do what I've shown here and squeeze from the bottom, because when you do that, when you take the tip off, the top off, it'll shoot out. The only reason I did that was to give you some sense, I'm holding upside down, to give you some sense of how much of it I have used. And I've used about half of it, which is a little more than half of it. Okay. All right, so I'm taking the top off, so it's a little bit going to shoot out here probably, but you can see it comes out white, and when it's been out of the tube for a little while, it will, if you just leave it on a surface, it will oxidize. You can see how it's starting to turn a little yellow here. But it just kind of goes onto the skin colorless, and it's just like a lightweight hyaluronic acid serum. Aside from the stinging and tingling that I felt on my cheeks, this did oxidize a little bit for me. I noticed it starting in about 2 to 3 weeks of using it, that I get a little bit of orange discoloration, a lot of which would occur around my hairline and, you know, kind of on my collarbones, you know, my décolleté area. I noticed that. I've tried many vitamin C serums, you guys, even though I don't use them. I have tried a lot of them. I've tried the Cosmeceuticals one for a long time, saw no change in my skin with that, but did get some oxidation, some orange discoloration. Definitely saw it with the Drunk Elephant vitamin C serum. That one was the worst, actually. And I saw it a little bit with the Revision vitamin C serum as well. So they all do it, you know, to a certain, it's to be expected to get a little orange discoloration. The product will turn orange, and that can be a little more irritating, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not good or it's not working. So it does that a little bit, but, you know, I've seen worse, in other words. And I think the packaging is actually pretty logical. I prefer this actually to the traditional dropper applicator, in that you can get really nice precise application of just the amount that you need onto the skin. You don't get excess. It's easier to apply it directly to your skin, as opposed to the dropper, where either you drop it onto your skin and droplet like fashion and try and put it on, or you put it in your hand and transfer it to your face. I just find that this is more precise, and I really like that packaging. And I think it's a logical way to do it. You get quite a bit in the tube. It's about 20 bucks, and you have more than enough for 6 months. So I think it's very affordable. If it were not for the sensation of tingling and irritation on my cheeks, as well as that subtle discoloration that I experienced, I honestly did not notice any difference between using this product and just a hyaluronic acid containing serum. Which brings me to my next point as to getting back to why I don't use vitamin C serums, the stability issue, the fact that they're non-drug cosmetics, they can be very expensive, and the fact that I think a lot of the benefit that can be seen with vitamin C serums is due to their moisturizing vehicle, the serum itself, the hyaluronic acid in this case, in the case of many others, I think is moisturizing, and people see benefit from that. So if you want to give the Cerave Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum a try, you know, I say go for it. It seems to be pretty easy to tolerate, but I can't tell you objectively that you're actually getting vitamin C into your skin, that you're actually replenishing the antioxidant level in your skin, that you're actually getting, you know, a boost in production of collagen. I don't have the studies to tell you that. I'm most confident, unfortunately, in the Cosmeceuticals vitamin C serum because, you know, it's been around a while, and that is the one that's used in a lot of the studies. So I've at least seen some studies with it, and so I feel a little bit more confident in that. But it's 122 bucks. So as a clinician, I don't tell patients, like, you have to buy this $122 serum in order to protect your skin. I tell them to use a sunscreen. So, you know, that's kind of where I stand with the vitamin C serum thing. If you want to use them, though, I mean, that's up to you. And this one, you know, I don't have any problem with. I would say a tip, though, for using them, if you want to use this, what I would suggest is to get yourself a salicylic acid face wash and use it before applying this. Just lather the salicylic acid onto your face wash onto your face. Let it sit on the skin for a few minutes, like 1 to 2, and then rinse it off before then applying your vitamin C serum, whether it be the Cerave one or any other one. The reason for this is that it will lower the pH of your skin and facilitate uptake of the L-ascorbic acid and give you better results. It may make it more irritating, but it will get more of the L-ascorbic acid into your skin. So I suggest doing that. And there is some data actually to show that that is helpful. L-ascorbic acid or vitamin C can be combined with pretty much any cosmeceutical ingredient. You can use it along with your vitamin A derivatives, whether it be prescription, tretinoin, over-the-counter adapalene, or a cosmeceutical retinol, or tazarotene, prescription tazarotene. It also can be used with alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids, or salicylic acid, as I said. And it can be used with, you know, any other anti-aging ingredient, peptides, you name it, it can be combined. There is some worry that people have about combining it with niacinamide, but that really hasn't been substantiated. I do know that, however, that the vitamin C can make niacinamide in products more irritating to some people, so be aware of that. You know, you might experience more irritation and stinging from your niacinamide with the vitamin C. But that being said, I use sunscreens with niacinamide in them, and I didn't find that to be the case with this. So yeah, I put this on actually in the morning to a dry face. I didn't do the salicylic acid face wash thing. I put it on in the morning to a dry face, allowed it to dry, and then I put my sunscreen on over it. There's also some thought that, you know, you might want to put it on instead at night, because when you go out in the sun, it does degrade. But again, if you put your sunscreen on over it, you kind of have protection from that. And with sustained use, you do get kind of a depot effect. So. Anyways, guys, that is the Cerave Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum. Thank you guys for suggesting I review it. Comment below on if you plan to use this, or if you have used it, what your experience with it has been. Did you get the orange discoloration as well? I'd love to know. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.